Hi, hello. My name is Ramsheed Thekekolayath. I'm here for the presentation of business analytical and intelligence. These are the executive summary. I will be hearing the mentioning the purpose, the methodology, and the tools used, the results, and the limitations. On to the next slide. Introduction. The UK banking sector is a pillar of the economy, offering a vital invitation financial services to the consumers and business. The industry comprises the retail banks, investments banks, building societies, and challenges bank with the major layers such as HSBC, Lloyds, Barclays, NatWest in 2023. HSBC topped the net profits in 2023, HSBC topped the net profits with 31 billion, followed by the Lloyds and the Barclays with the 5.5 billion and 5.3 billion respectively. The overall assets of the UK bank among the 60.38 trillion, fluctuating notwithstanding. The sector is experiencing an digital transformation. The regulatory upheaval and the competition feature companies, and this report discussed the role of business analytics in influencing banking strategies and decisions. On to the next slide. The business analytics in banking. Business analytics is an essential function in banking, leveraging data-driven methods to improve efficiency, risk management, and customer understanding. UK banks leverages analytics to inform decision-making. HSBC identifies fraud with AI, while Barclays improve customer segmentation through predictive analytics. Lloyds streamlines operations through the automations. These innovation results in improved strategic decisions, enhance the risk assessments, and improve customer experiences. This section discusses how UK Bank utilize the business analytics to remain competitive in the changing financial environment. On to the next slide. The data visualization. The slide contains the financial information of UK banks such as Lloyds Banks, Interbank Public Standard Chartered, RBC Europe Banks and the DNE Savings Bank from 2013 to 2022. The key indicators are the turnover, profit margins, return on equity (ROE), the liquidity ratios, and the employee count. Trends are used to show changes in profitability and the workforce sizes. On to moving to the next slide. Lloyds Bank is the leader in the turnover, 26.7 billion, followed by Standard Chartered 14.3 billion and NatWest 10.6 billion. Small banks such as One Savings and One Queen's Bank yield greater profit margins, which reflect stronger operating or efficiency. Conversely, Metro Bank has a negative profit margin of minus 24.25, an indication of financial stress. Liquidity ratios indicate the capacity of a bank cover the short-term commitments. All banks have good liquidity in excess of zero point 0.9, with the Vanquish Bank at 4.339, an indication of good cash reserves. Metro Bank, through facing financial difficulties, have a good liquidity ratio of 1.178, indicating that it can meet the liabilities. RBC Europe has an invest also good liquidity in excess of 1.0. Moving to the next slide. The profit margin. The profit margin varies significantly with the mean of 16.01 and a spread from minus 24.25. Metro Bank to the 41.66. One savings banks. The negative sequences reflects that although the majority of banks are profitable, some laws making banks pull down the average. The liquidity ratio implements that the majority of Banks are financially stable, averaging 1.36. The very ratio of 4.34 from the Queen's Bank to the squeeze are the data set. High Q2 risk means that the most of the bank group around 1, were 10 1.0, but a few outlets skew the distribution. In terms of number, the number of staff, the average of 20,867 is the disparity because of the some large banks such as Standard and Chartered 85,068 screening the figure. The fact there is high standard of deviation positive skews suggest a combination of large scale institution and a linear small scale banks. This brings out the size operating scales of UK banks. The turnover statistics exhibits a high profitable difference between the UK banks. The average turnover is 5.64 billion million, sorry. Yet the high standard of the deviation of 8.9 million and the positive skewness of 1.82 demonstration in the large banks. Like Lloyds have a high impact on the average. The range between 33,55259.50 and 26.7 million. Uh, the reflecting a combination of large market leaders and a small financial institution. As of a return of equity ROE, the mean of all banks 8.18% with a median of 6.50. The higher degree of the variance indicates the bank differ in the profitability levels. The negative skewness of minus 0.39 implies that most of the banks have the ROE values less than the mean. But a few performing better banks like one savings bank, Kings Bank, one screen, the average upwards, the implements that the smaller banks and the more effective producing return to the onto the next slide. The correlation analysis. The correlation matrix reveals that the turnover has a really no relation profit margin minus 0.74, meaning that the revenue sales may not affect the profitability, whereas the profit margin ROE are highly correlated, implying the greater profitability generates and the greater return for the shareholders, and the turnover and the liquidity ratio are highly correlated, which means the banks are more liquidity, perhaps the regulatory reasons, the number of employees, and the moderative and the positive employee basis. Regression analysis. The regression gives us the useful information regarding the interaction between the financial variables and the dependable values. The R square of 88.93 means the model accounts the large amount of the variable in data. The adjusted is R square. However, the falls to 80%, which implies there could be there could be some changes. On to the next slide. The recommendation and the conclusion. Based on the result of analysis, I suggest that we streamline our model by eliminating insignificant predators like profit margin and the number of employees. This will ensure the high accuracy and should make sure only the meaningful variables and the utilized utilized. The liquidity ratio came out as an the liquidity ratio came as an extremely significant predator, indicating that the firms need to watch their liquidity careful in order to improve financial stability and performance. Also data quality should be enhanced through obtaining observation so that the model becomes more reliable than the less chance of statistical errors. I have I have got my data from the many references that I have mentioned over here, and this is the appendix. And thank you all.